What's going on, everybody? This is Super Mike. I'm trying this from my phone. If I'm not being if I'm not sounding clear, make sure you guys let me know. But right now, we're just doing a little bit of just gonna do a little bit. Okay. Yeah, right now we're just doing a little bit. We're just gonna go through a little bit. So I'm not gonna be very long. Just coming up here just to complete the live service. But this was just supposed to be just a basic talk about the current events. You got a lot of different events going on. You got the war in Gaza, where right now that a lot of people are turning against Netanyahu. Yeah, right now I have some severe. I got my family got a new computer, so all my stuff is on the other computer, and really I can't see any of the stuff that I planned on talking about, but it's fine. But yeah, we're just gonna go from basic just conversation. But no, right now, I think the main thing that I was looking at was the war in Gaza with Netanyahu and how the signal has been given to throw him under the bus, which is good. But I don't think it's. I think they're coming up with a better strategy for themselves. They feel like themselves. Netanyahu thought that he could muscle his way through and ask the questions later to get everybody killed over there in Gaza, but that's not really working. I don't know how he thought it was going to work, but many people believe that this man set up the October the 7th uh, invasion of his own state so that he would have an excuse to do what he's doing now. And he's undergoing but really the whole populace of Israel is actually to blame because really they're allowing it. And true enough, you have some Jewish people who are saying that they're standing against it, but really are they? Because how is it going this long? Yeah, Bernie Sanders on the Senate floor, basically throwing the Netanyahu regime and the Israeli government, under the bus, which is good. Trump taking all of the, I guess, trinkets and planes and contracts from the Arab state, which is the United Arab Emirates. And that gives a signal that, he's going to be listening to them. The Houthis with all of their drone warfare, kicking butt over there in the Red Sea. They're attacking every ship that's going to Israel, and that's having an effect. The United States continues to send weaponry over there to murder Gaza people, and it's just complete murder, and it's against the international law. So how are you going to maintain the integrity of international law if this state is not brought to heel by the world? So I think China's getting anxious. They're sending food straight over to Gaza. They're not asking anybody because, the thing is, if that organization can't keep Israel at bay and obeying the rules, then why should China obey the rules? Okay. So why should any other state that has the muscle to just muscle its way, why should it obey the rules? You see what's happening here? You're going to have the breakdown of your international law, which is going to lead to another war, as a third war. That was the whole reason for that international body to exist. What's going on, everybody? Make sure you press the thumbs up. Actually, I'm just doing this from my phone. If it's not coming through, let me know. And because I have technical difficulties on the computer there, and all my stuff is actually on that computer. So we're just going through some of the current events that's going on. I got the link there. If you want to press the link, you can come up, and we're just going through a little bit. We're just going to end it off, but main thing is that the excuse me, the current event is really probably that international situation over there in Gaza. Now, with the reparations situation over here in America, we have to kind of reevaluate. I was listening to Tariq Nasheed. He does these things, spaces on X, and on his little space spot, once he actually got a call from a white guy. Actually, the actual link on his YouTube is talking about Hawaii, the Hawaiian situation over there. But really, that actually is the link on the YouTube, so you can listen to it. But at the end of that particular episode, he had a white man call him, actually trying to negotiate, or trial run negotiating for substantive, tangible reparations. Now, it would be helpful if you had a group of white people out there advocating in a legitimate manner, in a respectful manner, to try to get their people to understand that the value of doing reparations for Black American enslavement only helps their country, only helps their agenda to stabilize their situation. They will have to, the future is moving on. These people cannot survive off of slavery remnants anymore. They can survive. They're going to have to work just as hard as everyone else. They can't keep getting handouts. They can't keep blaming other people for their laziness, because it was pure laziness to believe that you required slavery and murder to build your country. So that's what's going to have to happen. Actually, you're going to have to actually build your country yourself. Similar to Russia, China, all these other people. You're going to have to go through your own thing, Sweden, all of these folks. You can't just get a group of people to build your nation and then murder them all as if you did it and there was smart ingenuity to do it. Okay, that's why you don't have any integrity to your rule of law, because you have to keep violating your rule of law over the last few centuries just to maintain this this enslavement situation, to keep this bottom rail or lower class citizenry at bay, which is Black people. And nowadays it's pretty much not going on. So, you do have some white people, which was interesting, that was trying to negotiate with the 40 acres and a mule. He basically was saying how about 43 million Black Americans, at least, if everyone is granted 40 acres, you would have the equivalent of basically the state of Texas and some of Oklahoma. And that would be our territories. Now, I believe that Brother Tariq Nasheed did not want to kind of confirm or affirm that state and that specific thing, because he was just doing that right. The caller asked him a question like that, and but at the same time, we would need, just like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, we need a territory. We need 8 to 10 of these states, and we have to have an outlet to the sea. Got to have an outlet to the sea. So, the range of Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, all of that, and we need double. So basically, it would be East Texas, Texas, we need double that zone. So yeah, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Missouri, they can leave. If they don't want to be ruled under Black people, they can leave. But we do need a territory. We need to be able to take care of ourselves. And, they can, the United States is about 2 billion acres. What's going on, guys? When you come in, press the thumbs up. This is going to be a quick talk. If you want to come up, the link is there. But right now, all of my actual information that I was actually talking about is kind of on my other computer, which I don't have access to right now. So just check it out, or you can come up or hit the link, or you can just keep just listening. But yeah, that right there was a pretty good episode. What Tariq Nasheed did with the with that, and yeah, if we get more white people actually uh, advocating for their people, we may be able to facilitate some tangible reparations and get some stability up in this nation for the next few years. You know, white folks have to go through their own process. They're going to have to go through their process to, you know, fix up go through their whatever they got to go through. But we should be trying to just get reparations. I'm not worried about. They looks like they're trying to phase in another government shutdown with the COVID-19 strain. Looks like they're trying to run this scam again under Trump again. I don't think it's going to work because people are done with it. If you're fool enough to take that shot again after what's been exposed, I think it's just going to, take out everybody. Because if you're dumb enough to take that stuff again, I don't know what to say. I don't care what they threaten you with. Just quit. Even if you had to be broke for a minute, all 10 family members need to move in together. That's why we got to have our own territory, because these people are going to keep playing. Some of these people are going to just keep playing these weird games, trying to just get rid of all of the people. The immigration issue, I think that's, that's ongoing. But I mean, at the end of the day, regardless of what some of us want to believe, the what's called the Mexican people, or what's being referred to as the Latin American people, or which are, the red natives, they're going to end up getting the West Coast. They're going to get West Coast, Mexico, all of that. That's going to be, they're under their control, complete control. But what Black people need to be worried about is we need our own territory under our control. We need something under our control. So that's what we should be fighting about. The Latin people, they're going to get what's under their control, and we're going to have to work it out. We can work with them. We can work with them. Some of them are racist. They do believe, some of them believe they're Spaniards, which are white people. But they're going to have to go through their process to try to get themselves some clarity, because you're not Spanish. Spain is in Europe. That reminds me also of a lot of Black people calling themselves Indian. I mean, indigenous. Now then they make a difference between native, indigenous. They're playing word games. We were here before Columbus. Our people were here. We're not African. We're not African. Okay, we are the original man and woman. That's what we are. As far as a nationality, see, because we got a nationality, we got a lineage. See, all of those different little classifications are a little different. But as far as the nationality, we've been in this hemisphere long enough. We're native to America right now. So we're native to America. Our struggle, our history is right here. Of course, we have connections. We have connections to different people groups and different cultures, because, in ancient times, over the last 500, 600 years. But what we are right now is a new group of people, and we're native to America. So it is what it is. So I do like what the foundational Black American thing is being said, and trying to focus on the culture, focus the people on the culture. And so, I just wanted to put this talk in. We'll see how it goes because I don't know if I'm even being heard correctly because of this internet thing. I don't know. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Super Mike out.